All right, Shalom. First and foremost, want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai, Bahashem, Ruach HaKodesh. Double honors due to the apostles, bishops, and elders of Great Millstone. Peace, blessings, and safety to the Lord's elect. It's the brother Yeshaya. And this 144 call, Lord Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai. This lesson video is going to be about the current affairs that's going on, news and prophecy or whatnot. And this subject matter is talking about the West Bank. Okay. And as you see right here, Israel will lose all support from the U.S. if it annexes West Bank, Trump warns. Now, this is fair use, fair use, fair use. And just, going over an article that I saw and just, um, commentary and everything like that. So fair use, right? But yeah, and this is so many things that's tied into this certain, situation. But for the most part, I'm gonna try to keep it simple. Now, for those that are not familiar about the West Bank, it is an area, okay, in the so-called Middle East, but as the elder um uh the elder um will tell you, you know, basically the Middle East is Western Asia because that whole landmass is known as Asia. Okay, you got East Asia, which is Moab and uh Moab and um what you call tripping. Well Moab is and Ammon is, right? And then you have, Central where like India is, and then you have Western Asia, where the Levant is, okay, where our homeland is. All right. It was just made up, by them as a construct, the Middle East. But anyway, okay. Says Israel will lose all support from the US if it annexes West Bank. Now, this is, a kingdom against kingdom, okay? And the Egyptian against Egyptian, uh Satan against Satan. If Satan is divided against Satan, then kingdom divided against kingdom, who can stand? All right. And Israel and the US are so-called allies, all right, non-NATO allies. So this is nothing but confusion, propaganda, just to keep people confused, man. Okay, but we know what's going on. But before I even read this, okay, we're gonna go to right here. And just in case, brothers don't know what the West Bank is, the West Bank is on the western bank of the Jordan River and is the larger of the two Palestinian territories, the other being the Gaza Strip, that make up the state of Palestine, a landlocked territory near the coast of the Mediterranean Sea in West Asia's Levant region. See, there you go. Even even Wikipedia tell you that this is Western Asia, and I didn't even read that. Wow. So there you go, man. The truth is out, man. That's the spirit. It is bordered by Jordan and the Dead Sea to the east and by Israel via the Green Line to the south, west, and north. Since 1967, the territory has been under Israeli occupation, which has been regarded as illegal under the law of international community. Now we know that these devils, they don't play fair, okay? They they'll sign treaties and then they'll they'll basically override it or overrule it. All right, we've seen it many times. We've seen it with Gad and the Native Americans. We've seen it. All right, all of these other countries throughout the world. Because the soul that is in them is not upright. Okay, and he's a devil, man. His words were smoother than butter, but drawn behind his back was drawn swords. Roughly paraphrasing. Okay. So yeah, and this is all our territory anyway, man. This is all our land right here. They want to call it the West Bank or whatnot, but hey, man, this is definitely our lands. Um, I'm gonna read a little bit about the West Bank. The territory first emerged in the wake of the 1948 Arab-Israeli War as a region occupied and subsequently annexed by Jordan. Jordan ruled the territory until 1967 Six-Day War, and when it was occupied by Israel. Since then, Israel has administered the West Bank except for East Jerusalem. which was officially annexed in 1980 as the Judea and Samaria area. Jordan continued to claim the area as its own until 1988. The mid 1990s also accords split the West Bank into three regional levels of Palestinian sovereignty via the Palestinian National Authority. The PNA exercises total or partial civil administration over 165 Palestinian enclaves across the three areas. All right. The West Bank remains central to the Israeli Palestinian conflict. The Palestinians consider it the heart of their envisioned state, along with the Gaza Strip. Right wing and ideological, there you go, that right wing, all right, that right left paradigm being at work once again. All right. Two horns that spake as a lamb. I mean, two horns of a lamb that spake as a dragon. All right, your Democratic and Republican Party, or your plebeian and patrician parties, okay? Because this is modern day Rome with numerous biblical sites. Or is it see as their ancestral land with numerous biblical sites. Now, that is not y'all's land, okay? That is not their land, all right? And they know that, okay? But as the scriptures say, he is a proud man that stayeth not at home. uh Here it is. Habakkuk 2 and 5. Yea, also because he transgresseth by wine. He is a proud man, neither keepeth at home, who enlarges his desire is hell, and is his death, and cannot be satisfied, but gathereth unto him all nations, and heapeth unto him all people. So, hey, this part right here, this is just one of the many places of the earth that the Lord set up for people to certain nations to occupy, but um Esau Edom has to have their hand, or their filthy hands on everything, man. It says that he desire of his enlarge of his desire is hell. Okay, and hell, that's basically talking about the grave. All right, the earth can never be filled with dead bodies. All right, it's too vast, you know, and even if everybody was to die at one time, you know, it the earth can accommodate that. So that's what that's talking about. All right. But anyway, long story short, uh basically, man, this is biblical prophecy. Okay, this is just another telltale sign of who the wicked is. Let's get that real fast. Let's go to Book of Job 9. Job 9 and 24. The earth is given into the hand of the wicked. He covereth the faces of the judges thereof. If not, where and who is he? So we know who he is, man. Okay. You read right here. VP Vance says Nasset preliminary vote on matter was very stupid political stunt and an insult to him, marring his visit. U.S. President predicts Saudi normalization this year, ways intervening for Barghouti, seemingly putting the kibosh on the Israeli right's dream of applying sovereignty to parts of the West Bank. U.S. President Donald Trump has said Israel will lose all support from the United States if it tried to move ahead with annexation. So there you go. All right, there, him and not Netanyahu. They have a on on and off again relationship. One day they're cool, one day they're not, one day they're all right. But this is all leading to WW3, man. All right, the third woe, the great the World War III, the war to end all wars, man. Okay, so man, this is a beautiful thing that the Lord has us going into certain things like this, man. All right, to understand what's going on with these current affairs. All right. Trump had already ruled out the idea last month, saying, I am not allowing Israel to annex the West Bank. There's been enough. It's time to stop now. But the comments published Thursday were his most stern warning yet that he would not tolerate the move. Also, in time interview, Trump said he made Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu stop the war in Gaza and that it might have continued for years otherwise. He also said he believed Israel and Saudi Arabia will normalize ties by the end of the year. They had a Gaza problem and they had an Iran problem. Now they don't have those two problems. he said of Saudi Arabia. He did not offer any further details on how this would be achieved, given Riyadh's insistence that normalization was directly tied to Palestinian statehood, a non-starter for Israel. So there you go, man. Just kingdom being divided against kingdom. Okay. The Egyptian against the Egyptian. Okay. And we love it and we want to see the downfall of this place, man. Okay, and this also goes back to the Balfour Declaration, man. All right, because that's the reason why so-called Palestine and the Israeli state, they've been beefing for ages, okay, after the Ottoman Turks war. I mean, the Ottomans got uh you know got up out of there, I believe. But anyway, the Balfour Declaration was a public statement issued by the British government in 1917 during the First World War, announcing its support for the establishment of a national home for the Jewish people. In Palestine, there is an Ottoman region with a small minority Jewish population. The declaration was contained in a letter dated 2nd November 1917 from Arthur Balfour, the British Foreign Secretary, to what? To who? Lord Rothschild, the leader of the British Jewish community. All right, so why? Well, so you got to look. Okay, what the hell is this red man doing? Rothschild Bauer. Okay, that's how you know that they're Amalekites and that they run the whole world, man. Okay, so they established, the Israeli state, all right, by the Balfour Declaration, okay, and basically, starting that war, all right, between Palestine, okay, and yeah, Palestine and the Jewish state, okay, and also, when they first got over there, they had a war with Egypt, okay, and what does the scripture say? It says that we will learn war no more, okay. Uh, let's see. What is that? Isaiah 2 and 4. And he shall judge among the nations and shall rebuke many people, and they shall beat their swords into plowshares and their spears into pruning hooks. Nation shall not lift up sword against nation, neither shall they learn war any more. So this is in the future. This is not right now because we're on the brink of the Third World War. And this is, there's a lot of skirmishes, there are a lot of proxy wars, there are a lot of things that are going on that a lot of people don't know, but it's definitely a telltale sign of who the people are, okay, and the people and who the people are not, all right, who the true, people of that land are, and who the people of the Lord's indignation are, okay. So let me read a little bit more on this. Um, the declaration was contained in a letter dated second. Uh, Actually, I already read that. Uh, Actually, you know what? For time's sake, if you want to look up I might do another lesson on the Balfour Declaration. Um, just go ahead and type in Balfour Declaration, and you can get all the information that you need. Okay, so yeah, very interesting stuff. So let's see. And I asked, are the U.S. and Israel allies? Yes, Israel is a close U.S. ally designated as a major non-NATO ally. So none of that part. Israel is not part of the NATO, but they're still, holding hands, so to say. Okay, which is biblical prophecy. All right. So let's go. Actually, I can go to my Bible now. We can go to Zechariah, chapter 9 in verse 6. A bastard shall dwell in Ashdod, and I will cut off the pride of the Philistines. Foreigners will occupy the city of Ashdod. I will destroy the pride of the Philistines. Now let's see what that word bastard is. Mamzer. Mamzer, right? a bastard, child of incest, illegitimate child, bastard, mixed population. All right, and that C is going off, but yeah, and they used to use that, a little while back, calling certain uh individuals momsers, but they used it wrong, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, mamzer is basically, an illegitimate child. And that's exactly who Esau Edom is, man. You know? Uh Isaiah 10:1. Woe to them that decree unrighteous decrees and write grievous which they have prescribed, to turn aside needy from judgment and to take away the right from the poor of my people, that widows may be their prey and that they may rob the fatherless. And this, there's been so many unrighteous decrees that's been written, that are being written, and ultimately those unrighteous decrees are gonna lead to total, war on the people. Okay, the abolishment of the your so-called constitution, your civil liberties or whatnot, your yeah, they're just gonna do away with that, and they basically want to do away with the left-right paradigm and make it one. Okay, even two parties is too many. All right, they want to set it up to where it's a one world government. All right, and that, going back to the Tower of Babel. Okay, this is just the Tower of Babel over again. You know, um, Psalms 49:11. Their inward thought is that their houses shall continue forever, and their dwelling places to all generations. They call their lands after their own names. So they're going around pillaging, raping, robbing, murdering. You know, and calling calling the lands after their own names. All right, going back to the basis, look at America, Amerigo Vespucci. All right, he was a Italian lawmaker. Okay, and I mean, well, map maker. Said lawmaker, map maker. Okay, and look at Leo Scipio Africanus. Okay, the landmass known as Africa. Okay. So, once they conquer lands, they name it what they want, but the Lord Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai has already named all the parts of the earth that he wants, especially, the Middle East. Well, it's not the Middle East, I'm sorry. Western Asia. Okay. So yeah, especially Asia, yeah, and they changed a lot of those names. Okay. They've changed, but the Lord still has it to where some of those names, all right, still, exist. Okay, you got Egypt, um, and to name just one, but there's others that we can read in the Bible, like, oh, this is this place, or this is that place. All right. Uh shit. Let's go real fast to Ezekiel 37. I mean 38. Um Yeah, here you go. Verse 5. Persia, okay, which is Iran. Ethiopia is still there. Libya is still there. All right, still called Libya. And them, and all of them with shield and helmet. So, hey, the Bible is true. These words are faithful and true. Just wanted to get that one real fast. Let's go to the book of Isaiah, chapter 2, and verse 4. And he shall judge among the nations and shall rebuke many people, and they shall beat their swords into plowshares and their spears into pruning hooks. Nation shall not lift up nation against nation, neither shall they learn war anymore. So, hey, these these nations, they are gathering together, all right, the resources, okay. Um on the flip side, they're gathering together their resources, all right, to make swords and to make things that are conducive to war. But right here, all right, on the flip side, it says they're going to beat their swords into plowshares and their spears into pruning hooks. Okay, so all of that, because the Lord, hey, after everything is said and done, after World War III, after the Lord's return, all of their weaponry, okay, and, Tubal Cain, Qui, okay, all of their artifices, okay, the artifice, the ultimate artificer, Esau Edom, but yeah, all of that is gonna be thrown away, man. All right, the only weapons we're gonna have, all right, is our weapons. No matter and no the first one I could think of is that rod of iron. Okay, that's gonna be used to beat the laws, statutes, and commandments into these people, and hey, Lord willing, brothers gonna have spiritual powers. I mean, not gonna be need for like a missile or whatever. Okay. And the last part is the kicker. Nation will no longer fight against nation or train for war anymore. So that's how you know that those are not the people, because what's happening right now, we're in the midst of war. Okay. Got a couple more. I'm hoping this makes sense. It's just going through the spirit. This is the book of John, chapter 10 and verse 10. The thief cometh not but for to steal and to kill and destroy. I am come that they may have life, that they may have it more abundantly. So, hey man, and that's what he's been doing ever since he was let out of those caves from the 1300s, the late 1200s, the early 1300s, the Renaissance era, and through the Spirit, the Lord has me researching a lot of these old kings, like King Henry the Eighth, which Lord will I might do a lesson on that of a certain sect of religion that he created. And I saw Elder Yashawamba's video or short of how many, the Calvinists didn't like these people, and the Seventh-day Adventists didn't like these. So they made it, and it's just so much confusion, man. All right, but the Lord's going to destroy all that, because the only religion that is going to be prevalent, which is this is the only so-called religion that is prevalent. Okay, is the following of Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shah. All right. Being an Israelite. Okay. That's the only one. All of these other ones is just made up for a purpose, for confusion, to fulfill prophecy, that false prophet. Okay. So yeah, I got one more and I'm gonna wrap it up. This is the book of Jeremiah, chapter 50 and verse 12. Your mother shall be so confounded, she that bare you shall be ashamed. Behold, the hindermost of the nations shall be a wilderness, a dry land, and a desert. So I brought that up because of the Balfour Declaration, okay, which was initiated by the British. And in the scriptures, the mother, all right, that mother is talking about Great Britain, because all legislative, all everything comes out of Great Britain, man, the UK. Okay. The Revolutionary War, okay, cool. But hey, Britain still owns America. I mean, contrarily to popular belief, they still, they are still being ran, all right, by the banking elites that are over there in Europe, okay, getting ready to get in those bunkers because they know that World War III is imminent, and they think that they're gonna be the what, the phoenix that rose from the ashes. All right, but and quite opposite, you're gonna be terrorized by men of the Lord, snatching your ass out of them damn bunkers and throwing your ass right in the chains and slavery. Okay, yeah, the Lord is gonna disappoint your he disappointed the uh the craftiness. What is that? It's either Job 5 or Job 20. Job 5 and 22. Dwight, how about you? I think. Nah, uh, it's 5 and something. Let's see. Mm. Yeah, here it is. 5 and 12. He disappointeth the devices of the crafty, so that their hands cannot perform their enterprise. He taketh the wise in their own craftiness, and the counsel of the froward is carried headlong. So just when they think they're gonna eat, all right, what does Job 20 say? Just when they think they're gonna fill their bellies, all right, this is what the Lord is gonna do. All right. Job 20 and 22. In the fullness of his sufficiency, he shall be in straits. Every hand of the wicked shall come upon him. When he is about to fill his belly, God shall cast the fury of his wrath upon him and shall rain it upon him while he is eating. So, hey, y'all did y'all thing. Okay. I'll give you a E for effort. Not even a E for effort, an E for Esau. You know what I'm saying? And hey, can't wait for this thing to go down, man. So, hey, brother, stay strong, stay prayed up. Stay doing what you got to do for the Lord. No matter what, things are gonna happen. Just got to keep pushing. Pray to be sincere, and pray that you're of the elect at the end of the day. So I'm gonna end it with that. Lord willing, it was edifying, giving all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rachah Hakwadash. Double honors due to the apostles, the bishops, and the elders of Great Millstone. Peace, blessings, and safety to the Lord's elect. Shalom.